Hi, I'm Colman Hayes. This series follows one comedian on one day in one city, kinda captured as it happens. Today I'm with Mike Rice as he does his work in progress at the Craic Comedy Club in Dublin.
I've been sick for about nearly 2 weeks straight of different things, and then coming into this weekend I had so many shows.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that I was like, and I'd had my voice was gone, and my voice was fucked, and I was like, this is going to be a war of attrition. Like I felt like half feeling like I was going to maybe cancel the show because I've had.
Holy shit! Okay.
Well, I've had this voice problem now for a few weeks. My throat, and I did
It's really fancy, to be fair.
well,
A lot of dim lighting.
there's a lot of dimness, yeah. So this is, and I mean, and this is cleaner than it would be. You know what I mean?
Okay, if I just throw this down here.
Yeah, throw it there wherever you want. But yeah, this is my little den of sin. So what happened here was, my friend was supposed to give me his house,
Yeah.
and I was going to have it for the whole weekend because he's fucked off on his honeymoon, and it's in Crumlin. And then I went out there, got a taxi the whole way out. He left out the wrong key.
No fuck. That was like Friday, is it?
That was Friday, yeah. So I had to get a fucking hotel, and then the night I realised that. So then I paid for the hotel 3 nights, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, £1 million, but my profit for the weekend just decimated. But and then 2 people that night were like, "Oh, I had a spare room." Kevin Larney and someone else. And I was like, right. Although, do you know what?
Do you like having your own space?
I love having my own space. And fuck it, at this point I can kind of afford it. So it's like, this is all my medication. Look at that. Look how much medication I'm on. And this isn't even, well, this is toothpaste, not really medication. But I'm on 4 different and that's not even, and then I've got more medication in the bag. So I'm absolutely.
Did the doctor tell you to take this, or you were just like?
No stuff. No. I'm prescribed a load of it. Some of it's from my stomach, some it's from my head. I've got strepsils, Viagra. I've got just plain old painkillers as well. So I'm drugged up to the bollocks.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for doing this. Then.
Would you like a strepsil?
No, go on.
That's what I'm saying. I've had a miraculous.
Thank you so much.
Recovery. Yeah, not full. My voice is still a little rough, but I thought it would be gone by now.
Yeah.
Because I did last night. We did an hour WIP show.
Yeah.
And then
how did last night's show go?
Good. We can talk about it outside, but and then I did 4 20-minute
Where were you then?
Craic then and the intro is closing both those shows.
Okay.
And they had 2 shows each. So
holy shit.
Yeah, it was a lot. By the end I was like, there was 1 or 2 shows right, and it's literally like I had 0 adrenaline in my body. I felt nothing. You know what I mean? When you're up there, like, you're just kind of like, and then you have to kind of try to G yourself up because and then the Craic then, the light from the stage in one of the shows, it was so packed and hot that I started crying.
No fucking
like literally tears coming down because the light was so bright, and I actually couldn't look at it anymore. I was on stage and I half doing my jokes like that, just into the corner, and I was like, everyone can see that I'm crying. This looks crazy.
There's the comedian breaking down on stage.
Yeah, it looks fucking mental.
Like, is this part of the act?
Yeah.
What were you talking about? What was the bit?
Well, it's probably just talking about shagging a dog or something, but nothing profound.
Yeah.
Just some out of filth. But I was streaming tears. It was one of the most intense situations I've ever had on stage. I told him after, like, guys, fucking do something with them lights. It's mental. But he was saying everyone's complaining about the lights, but there's some settings that can't be changed or something. I'm sure. I don't understand technology, so You know, if people tell me it can't be changed, well, see, you can't just have then crazy lights forever, is it? Is that for infinity now?
Yeah.
Comedians are crying, you know.
Here we might mic you up, Mike.
Good job. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah. I probably don't even need my fucking bag, but I'm just used to bringing it.
Yeah.
Do you know?
How are you feeling about tonight?
Grand, sure, grand. Like you know, it's oh yeah, hold on now. Well, continue, I suppose, in a minute. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but how you feeling? How's tonight?
Well, so I did the WIP last night and it went well. The show is.
This is not the same WIP as last year's WIP at Fringe, though.
It is the same WIP, yeah.
Is it?
Well, yeah. So it is. It's that show, but there's like different stuff in it now, and it's a bit different. But
Because genuinely, that WIP last year at Fringe was fucking that was a work in progress last year at Fringe, and it was phenomenal.
Well, this is what you were saying. Yes, you were very nice about it.
But not just me, like you.
No, the other people. I think it was all right at that point. So thank you.
Have you? So is it when you release the other one on YouTube? That's officially the end of that one.
Yeah. I just released Nasty Character at the start of March, and so essentially, open you cunt, and so then essentially that's the end of that material. Yeah. In terms of show, like, you know, there'll be some club gigs I'll whip out one or two bits depending, you know, on how the gig is going or if something leads into an older bit.
Right.
But going forward now for the next tour, that's all gone. And I'd already had a special that came out the year before, or 2023.
That's right. We might have to pause this conversation just for the long.
Yeah.
Maybe just so we're not pissing off any of the hotel.
Yes.
Sorry, so you were saying?
Well, yeah, so in terms of like...
They're burnt up now.
As in terms of like a monetizable tour show.
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
because I know, like, I presume you're a fan of Louis C.K.
Love Louis, yeah, one of my heroes, yeah.
He was saying, like, you write 2 hours and fold it into one type of thing. Like, do you kind of follow a similar sort of, like when you're coming up with stuff, do you try and have almost twice as much stuff as you need and then cut it down to the hour that's great and then or...
I mean, like, that would be ideal, but like he's, he's like the Leonardo da Vinci of comedy. He's an absolute genius. So I think what he says and does doesn't really apply that much to normal people or regular comics, you know. Like I think to come up with 2 hours and fold it, no, you'd be lucky to come up with 1 hour. Do you know what I mean? And just have an hour and you'd be fucking delighted.
No, I'm going to wait till I have my second
one.
one.
And then fold them into one. Absolutely not. But also, like, we're at a stage now, or I am, because I've started to tour, and the first special I actually put out, I didn't tour at all, like really. Like I had done the material a bit where I would like have it. I was doing shows around Europe and just headline sets and club gigs and.
But is it almost the price that one has to pay to like sort of like? It's like the audience needs to know what your style is, so ultimately you have to like.
Yeah, on some level, yeah, you just have to. I guess like sacrifice it, particularly if you don't have an audience already. But it was definitely.
Do you feel sad leaving an hour ago? Like you're like, oh fuck.
No, not really. No, I mean, it seems a bit ridiculous though. Like,
you know, like some of my last special, like there's a fair bit of that material I wasn't even doing a year, and I'm, you know, throwing it out like, that seems like,
What a waste!
that seems a bit of a waste, to be honest. Like, and there is part of me that feels like, I was talking to another comic, Sean Walsh, about it there. We were driving to Birmingham the other day, and we were saying, like, you know, it's mad, like the speeds are kind of expected to turn things over now. And I guess it's just because if you're going on tour every year, then it's a new hour every year. But an hour a year is mental.
That's insane.
An hour a year is absolutely mental. And the only way that I've kind of done it in a way that I'm going to be able to do this next tour now, I'll have a new hour for next November, is because I did 2 shows in Edinburgh the last 3 years.
The work in progress.
The work in progress and the main one, which was a mental thing to do, really, and I don't know if it. I mean, every year I was losing my voice and I was getting sick, and it was, but it allowed me to kind of generate a surplus of material to the point where now I can release a special and comfortably have a decent amount of stuff.
But you're
to have a new hour.
This year, you're not doing a work in progress.
No, this year, I'll probably never do that again.
No?
The 2 shows.
Oh. We'll go down this way.
Yeah, probably I'll never do that again, I'd say, if I had to guess. But even though I kind of liked it as a system, but
and why? Just because it burns you out so much?
yeah, and I just don't think I don't think I'll be in a position to. I don't think I'll be in a position to do that again.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think I'll have that much material. I think COVID, because I kept gigging in COVID for those few years. So there's maybe 3 years that we didn't do the Fringe, 2000, 2001, 2002. Or no, did we come back in 2002? Was it just 2000 and 2001? Anyway, or 2020, 2021, sorry. I would have been 10 in 2000, or 9. But, so I wasn't doing the Fringe. Famously, I wasn't doing it. I was boycotting at the time. But, I kept gigging during COVID, so I had like...
You had a mountain of material
I
ready
had
to
excess, yeah, I just had excess material. Because I moved to Barcelona, and I kind of, for the first 3 months of COVID, I didn't gig, but then after that, I kind of was gigging consistently. So I had like, yeah, kind of extra material. But this year now, I'm just doing 1 show in Edinburgh. It sure feels like I'm being a lazy bastard. That's how I feel. It's like 1 show. That's a fucking laugh. Do you know what I mean?
God, I find doing 1 show at Edinburgh overwhelming. So it's crazy.
There's 24 hours in the day. Like, what the fuck are you doing for the rest of it? Just louting around like an old dosser. But you had you were talking about doing the show you were acting in.
The best
The
man.
Best Man.
So well, I suppose last year at the Fringe, we did Best Man for the last 2 weeks of the Fringe.
Yeah.
And I had a work in progress for the whole run of the Fringe. So for a period of time, I was doing 2 shows a day as well, but only for 2 weeks.
Right.
But maybe I'm beginning to gear myself up, because like your methodology. I mean, to be fair, but here, let me throw a hypothetical at you. But like,
Yeah.
if you kept doing it, would you not keep forcing yourself to keep finding something? You're like, fuck, I have to talk about something.
Oh, with the work in progress thing?
Yeah.
No, you would, and
Or is it you're just like, look, you're like, fuck, hold on, I've hit a point. I've had 2 specials in, was it 2.5 years? I have a 3rd one about to be ready. You're like, fuck, this is good enough. I can take a breather for a little moment in time.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think part of me is like, and I can just focus. I say this show now that I'm bringing to Edinburgh is just completely focused on that.
Is this because as well you're playing, this is the cafe here, is this because you're playing Vicar Street as well with it. Like you're like, I
Yeah,
want this
yeah,
show
exactly.
to be liquid hot,
That's right. That's right.
like molten
So
fucking.
that's right. My first ever Vicar Street, which had always been my biggest dream to do. So
What coffee do you want?
Would you like a table?
No, we'll just take it to go, please.
Ah, okay, sorry, we need to order
Oh, can
outside.
outside, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Is that black magic?
It is. It's a blank. Yeah. Oh, we can order outside at the very least.
yeah,
An Americano with a little drop of milk.
yeah. Yes.
Hi, can we get an Americano with a little drop of milk and a tea, please?
With milk?
Just
Yeah,
red.
Colman's grand.
Colman.
Okay, the
Oh.
one is there.
Okay,
You can put them on your
that's great.
Oh, right, yeah, perfect.
Americano
And just a regular breakfast tea, please.
You're not having coffee?
I can't drink coffee
Oh yeah?
because if I drink coffee, I get palpitations.
Oh, it's a health thing.
Like if I drink coffee, I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack.
Ah,
Like so, it's like I'd only ever have coffee if I'd have coffee on like a Saturday if I was meeting people and I had nothing on. The fact that we're doing this, if I have a coffee,
yeah.
like yeah, we did. Yeah, thank you so
You'll
much.
freak out.
I'll just be
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't look.
You don't need any more intensity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. People say, yeah, I can be. Do you know what? People say I give off two vibes.
Yeah.
I have my really good friends who know me who call me a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then people who kind of know me like you're such like a lovely man.
Yeah.
And I'm like this is so there's
Oh, that's interesting. So your really good friends call you serial killer?
yeah. They,
Right.
Or they give. Do you know Dennis from It's Always Sunny?
Yeah, yeah.
That's who they think.
Well, you
I am.
look like Dennis a little bit. You've got a little bit of that.
There's like I've like yeah. Because like I yeah.
Well, I would have given you the nice man
Yeah.
bracket. I would put you in that bracket. The trouble is, I get to know you, that will change.
You'd be like, I think I've it's because I probably have a dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
Is probably what like, you
Yes.
know.
And a kind of an immorality is going on there. So it's lovely. Thank you. Oh, and the lids are here. Thank you very much.
Are you much of a coffee drinker?
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely addicted out the wazoo.
No lid for your coffee? Oh, lid. Sorry.
Hold on now. Let me get this right because there is potential for a disaster. Okay. No, yeah, I'm very addicted to coffee now. I've gotten to a point where it's like I won't have it after like 3 o'clock or something because it just
Keeps you awake.
yeah, and I've had
Sit over here, maybe.
I have had issues with my sleep in the last few years. So, but I'm also like, really, I probably shouldn't drink a whole lot of it because I'm like yourself. I'd be a bit riddled with the old anxiety.
There's
But I just love it.
Did you always love it?
Coffee? No, sure. Obviously, tastes like shite, but so no one actually loves it initially. It's like booze.
Like Guinness or something.
Well, yeah, it's like when you first have it, you're like, geez, that tastes fucking terrible, because it does taste terrible.
Yeah.
But then because it gives you a change of state and it promises like a kind of, it has a chemical thing, you just acclimate to it, and then you're like, oh, I like it. But then it's like, do you really like it, or you've just come to
I know why. I
love
feel like
what
we're
does.
talking about comedy right now.
Huh?
You don't really like it, but you just get used to it. You know?
Well, no, comedy I love now. Comedy I don't. I have no bad words to say about.
Did you? And here, it's the stereotypical question, but like,
Yeah.
Like, was it always stand up? Like, was it where?
No. I don't think I gave a shite about stand up when I was young. You know, I was like, I loved comedy movies was my big thing.
What
Yeah.
was The ones that were like standing out in your head.
Eddie Murphy initially when I was very young.
Oh, which Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
films?
There's like Trading Places, the Golden Child, Beverly Hill Cops, and then obviously The Naughty Professor and
Dr. Dolittle.
Dr. Dolittle. He had a movie called Life with Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Which,
Never seen it actually.
Yeah, class. I just loved it. Well, we used to have a babysitter called Chrissy who lived in town, but she would come out and she'd babysit us. But then every once in a while, as a treat, one of us would get to stay with Chrissy on her own in her house in town. But she loved like movies, and she was big into horror movies and stuff. But she'd bring us down to the video store in town, and we'd pick out any movie, and she gets Cocoa Pops, and then you just sit there watching the movie for the night, and it was the best thing ever. Oh my god!
Why did one of you get to go stay with Chrissy?
It was just like that's
Parents were like, you can take one of them, Chrissy.
Yeah, you can take one of them. Like, and that was your big treat. Like, you get to stay with Chrissy that night, and
That's where you watched Life, like.
that's where we would watch like Life and Meet the Parents, and because that's what. So it started off with Eddie Murphy first. I loved Eddie Murphy, and then that transitioned into like that whole frat pack era movies, like with Will Ferrell and Ben Stiller. I loved Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Luke Wilson a little bit. Those actors, Jack Black. So they went on a run of probably about 8 years there where they were doing just great comedy movies. I fucking loved them. Like, you know, I was quoting Anchorman all the time, quoting Zoolander all the time.
Isn't it interesting?
Dodgeball, unbelievable.
There's always like I feel like it's like there's always like a bubble of those people, because after they passed from that, let's say, that crest of that wave, I feel like Seth Rogen became the next crest with his group.
Yes.
There's always like someone,
Yeah.
like a new change of the,
A little changing of the guard. Yeah, and yes, that Judd Apatow,
yeah.
Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, they came in. They weren't as good, I don't think, those movies, in my opinion. Although, you know who's unbelievably funny is Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing. And the movie This Is the End
I love that film.
is unbelievably funny.
That scene with Hermione Granger or with Emma Watson,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm saying we shouldn't.
Yeah, yeah. We shouldn't, right? Yeah. It's amazing. Danny McBride's character, like when he has the gun at one point, and like he's like, okay, at least if you're gonna kick me out, he's like, just let me have the gun so I can defend myself. So they give him the gun, and immediately goes to literally try to blow all their heads off, but the gun doesn't work. They're like, there's no bullets in the gun. And he's just like, you know, it's so funny.
Even when they're like, I think there's the moment they're like, okay, we need to ration everything, and cut to Danny McBride waking up.
Yeah.
And he's just like making up.
Cooking everything.
That film, This Is the End. I remember, I think of all those films that came out at that time from that group, I thought This Is the End was like the one that I thought was like the peak of that group.
But that was the end. This Is the End is funny because it's called This Is the End, but it was also the end of that era of movies with those guys, with like the Seth Rogens and the James Francos and the Jonah Hills, who did kind of lots of stuff together as well. That was the last movie of that kind of little generation, and there's literally been fuck all good comedy since, and that was 10 years ago, and there is no longer really, like, what name the best comedies of the last 10 years?
I would say probably, I would say Kirsten Wiig, and I think Bridesmaids. I think.
But that's 2011, that's before that.
Oh, was that before that?
Yeah, that's before that.
Was that before that?
Yeah, so This Is the End is like 2013, 2014, Bridesmaids is 2011. So in the last 10 years, since 2014, name a classic comedy movie. One.
Hold on, wait, do you think, because I can't think of a single one.
Yeah, because there isn't any.
But do you think that's because we're older?
No.
And that it's like our parents' version of what the greatest music was what they were, and like they have no appreciation really. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you actually think there's been no good comedy films, or do you think that's us just getting like at a point you're like, oh fuck, I'm just out of tune with what the fuck is funny anymore to younger people?
No.
I suppose.
No.
Why am I saying this? Just
No. Yeah.
to Mike Rice.
Yeah, exactly. No. And I get your point there, and it's with a lot of things it could add up, but no, there's been no good comedy movies.
Yeah.
And that's because the budget for comedy movies, which was like between like 40 to 60 million budget movies, that all these movies that we loved were, that just kind of disappeared and everything was just launched into Marvel. The studios, like they just didn't, they stopped funding them. And then if you think of who's the biggest comedy movie star the last 10 years, you think probably Kevin Hart. And he hasn't won good movie. He hasn't won classic. He didn't make one classic movie. Just churning out kind of mediocre kind of dog shit. And he's a funny guy. He's a funny person or whatever. But he's a little fella. He's small, which I don't trust them. Do you know what I mean? Scurrying around, climbing things. There's always something with little fella. Anyway, I won't go into them. But me and you are pretty tall. We're both.
You're a very tall man, actually. What are you, like, you 6'2"?
6'1", no, 6'1".
You're 6'1"?
6'1", yeah. What are you
You're
at
only
there?
an inch taller than me.
I think I am, but I think the aura brings me up. Do you know what I mean? There's
gives you a few more inches.
You know I'm a man who.
Does it apply as well in the bedroom?
Yes, the aura. Although the bedroom, that's the bedroom.
Sorry,
have your heart
sorry,
broken.
that's like, sorry, that's personal.
No, not at all. All will be revealed about my flute.
I feel like, I'm like, why did I mention bedroom? Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Well, it's titillating. It's for the viewers. It's to get people. That's what they want. Salacious gossip. They don't want to hear about the movies I love. They want to hear about when was the last time I came. In my little dodgy hotel room, just strangle wanking. Anyway.
I know. But sorry, so films was the first.
Well, so movies.
So
was,
why not acting, or why?
Well, acting was. So then, when I was in my teenage years, I would always say to my mother, I'd be like, I'm going to be an actor. That's what I'd say to her. And she said, well, then go join local theatre. And I'd be like, I'm not gay. So no, I won't be doing that. I'll be doing Hollywood comedies.
I'm going to go right in at the top.
Yeah, basically. So I didn't want to, because it was just, at that time, as rural Ireland, it's still rural Ireland. It hasn't changed that much.
It's a metropolis now, Kilkenny.
Yeah, it's kind of Vegas-esque now.
Wait, sorry, I'm jumping, but actually no, sorry, continue and I'll jump in a second.
Right, well, so I grew up on a farm in Kilkenny, but so my group of friends were all like people who played hurling, and that's what I did, and I was massive into sport as well. And then just into just being bowled and drinking and smoking, and so just being, I suppose, what one might categorise as a lad, or a kind of, whatever that is. I don't know, it's kind of setting a negative connotation now, but you're just, I suppose, it's kind of, I suppose, normal or whatever. But you don't want to do anything that kind of rocks the boat in that way. You've got your friends and your things. You don't want to do anything different, because everything different back then was gay. It was a very homophobic time, I would say. So I loved movies. I'd read movie reviews constantly. I had this movie reviewer, Roger Ebert, who I was obsessed with, and I would be always reading his reviews online, and I got his book, but she wouldn't be telling the lads this. She'd just be telling them about, Jesus, I saw a dog shagging a pigeon or something, or whatever you'd say to the lads that they'd like, So
every lad secretly has something that he loves. He's just like, I'll just keep that to myself.
Absolutely, keep it to yourself. Don't let them know who you really are. They'll rip you to shreds. These are animals, true animals. And you know that because you are an animal also when someone else does anything. Because you're like, well, if I can't be myself, I'm not going to let you be yourself. That's a fact. Do you know what I mean? Fuck that sky high. But it's a case of, speaking of the film critic, Roger Ebert, he had a line when he was reviewing some movie. I can't remember what movie it was, but he said that people who are like popular in secondary school, who have like friends and whatever like that, often never find out who they really are because they get used to that feeling of being liked, and then they don't want to do anything that would jeopardize that, so they don't basically they don't do anything outside of the status quo,
Yeah.
And I was kind of within that trap at that time, so I just didn't do anything like that. But I would always, like I said, I would always be saying to my mother, I'm going to be an actor and this sort of stuff. And then me and my brothers all love movies, and me and my little brother Johnny would watch movies and comedy together, and we used to do things where we'd sit opposite each other and just have to make each other laugh. you know, we'd have to like do things, and the other would have to try not to laugh, and so there was always like signs of stuff like that, but I didn't do anything about it till way later, you know.
What age is way later?
23, I suppose. Well,
Did you do a degree in something else?
I
or-
did, yeah.
What did you do a degree in?
Commerce in UCD.
In UCD?
Yeah.
Oh, no way, okay.
Yeah. So
And then where was the... But at the back of your head the whole time, a little bit was like something artistic,
No.
or some comedy, or...
at this point, not really. At this point, I think I was more kind of accepted the drudgery and faith of just having
Life's going to be shit.
Life's
Okay.
going to be shite.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
accept it. I presume everyone else feels the same way about it.
Yeah, a little, and I'd no vision of the future, like, because I never had that thing where I think for certain reasons in my personal life and stuff, I never had this feeling of like, oh, I'm going to get married and have kids in a house. I just didn't have that vision of the future. I never really did. I didn't really care about that. I didn't really care about money necessarily, like it wasn't a big driver for me or anything. So I was in there doing commerce just because I got told to do it, because some career guidance fella said to do it, and my mother said I should do accounting in secondary school. When I really loved history, and I didn't do history for the Leaving Cert, and I love history.
You're a
and
big fan of history.
Yeah.
Do you ever listen to hardcore history? Or
Yes.
Do you ever
Yes.
listen to The Rest is History?
I listen to the rest of history all the time.
I
I love it.
fucking
I love it. They're brilliant. They're funny. I just listened to their 2 episodes about the Rolling Stones. Their last 2 episodes.
Oh, I didn't. I stopped because they did a whole. Sorry, this is on a tangent, but
No, yeah.
I did because they did. What did they do? They did the French Revolution.
Yeah.
And they had like this was going back years on their thing, like,
Yeah.
and they just finished the French Revolution, and I think they jumped into something else. Did you ever like finish an era with them? You're like,
Yeah.
guys, I can't just jump in
Yeah.
to the next thing. I need like so I need a palate cleanser before I jump back into
Yes.
it. Which I love. The Rest is History.
Oh,
yeah.
the rest of history is so class. The boys.
What's your favorite era of history, or what's your like? Or do you have like?
No. I do. I think maybe like the 60s, and I know that's pretty recent history. I love
Ireland or States?
No, probably more the
Like-
States, and culturally, and the like.
The Cold War and all that shit.
Less the Cold War, more kind of like culturally, like the civil rights movements, and like
You thought it should never have
the
happened.
youth culture, the Summer of Love, the music at that time, the assassinations of JFK and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy. Like, there's just mad shit going on in the 60s. There was this kind of almost like hopeful utopian feeling of like, love will prevail, and
And
like
that got assassinated at some point. And
yeah, well,
do you feel
yes,
like there was
it
like
did.
a turn on?
Yeah, well, it did. Yeah, when Richard Nixon got elected in '68, and then literally like hippies and were just being beaten up by the police, and it was, and also then heroin got like, I don't know purposely, there's conspiracies that it got purposely like leaked into all the hippie communities and fucking decimated the youth at that time.
The Rest is History. They had some episode just called 1968.
Yeah, 1968. I've listened to it. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Like when they were laying it out,
Fucking
I was like,
amazing.
that all happened in that year? And they were like, because your man makes an argument
Yeah.
that he's like, that was the year where, like, he was like, there's a before and after. And
Yeah.
that year is like a pivot point
Yes.
of like, as you're saying, culturally, of like, it's like in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, of how like that was the
Yes.
end of the Hollywood era.
That's
Like,
right.
All of these things, like it feels like the world became unsafe or something.
Yes.
Like same in 9/11. 9/11, after 9/11, the world became like
Yeah.
there's a different feeling in the air.
That's exactly right. Well, it's a great device for storytelling, the kind of epoch shifting year or time. You've seen Boogie Nights, the movie, Paul Thomas Anderson movie about the porn industry, and how it all changed in the 80s when video came in, and it stopped being, because all these porn directors thought they were like auteurs, like filmmakers, and they'd have these grand things, and then video made it all cheap. But it's about like, anyway, it's just hinging on a point in history where things change from one thing
And
to
it
the
almost
other.
happened, and it's almost inevitable because they say even in like the film industry, like it's currently going through, like even why, let's say those comedy budget, those budget for comedy films hinged or changed is because like the market is changing.
Yes.
The streamers are coming on and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me think like I don't know where the film industry will actually be in another like 20 years time. Like there may be no more Marvels
and the thing is about it is, you know, because we grew up in it, like we almost view it as this omnipresent pillar of life and existence and culture. But sure, 100 years ago, there was no fucking movie. I mean, there was. Charlie Chaplin and the silent stuff was popular, but like even go back 140 years ago, there's no movies. So it's a completely recent phenomenon. Like it's still the same way people are like, well, television's dead now. And I was like, yeah, well, it was only alive for about 50 years. It's like, you know, it's all ephemeral. All these kind of dominant modes of entertainment and stuff never seem to last crazy amount of time, apart from maybe like
but it feels,
music, live gigs have been.
That is true.
Seems to be,
and comedy, right?
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
Like, anyway, sorry. So wait, sorry. So you so no, I'm.
But so, commerce is that?
Yeah. Sorry. No, I love history. So like,
Yeah.
I could fucking.
Yeah, me
We could
too.
just talk about history for the next 4 hours, and I'm like, I would be delighted.
I'd be happy out.
But sorry, but like,
Yeah, but back to
so
my shite life. Now, yeah, let's not talk about the revolutionary cultural movements
when
in
was
the
your
60s.
when was your 1968 in Mike Rice's life? Do you
Well,
know?
oh yeah, well, so that's actually a lovely way of framing it. So,
That's a lovely pull back in, wasn't it? That was
yes, gorgeous. And it's why you're losing money today. I tell you, the confidence of pigeons is sickening you. Why did they think they're not in danger right now is, you know what I mean? They can just walk this close to me without me laying a boot on them. And I will lay a boot on them, except everyone will be like, oh, animal cruelty. But you know, I think people want to see pigeons taken down because they're a rotten little animal.
It's too confident, too cocky. They're like, yeah, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, but it's also like birds. It's like, what an awful thing whoever created the universe or whatever created, like, to give literally the dumbest animal on the planet the power of flying. Do you know what I mean? Surely give us to be able to fly. But literally these absolute idiots have the greatest power on earth.
But I think if you gave it to a cleverer creature, there would be mayhem.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
I think if you gave a human the power of flight, that guy, or like if it's a
We'd
guy,
all, imagine we'd all be just people drunk.
it would just be chaos.
And then imagine like the thing about it is when you get a bird shits on you, imagine like fucking Kevin from Carlo after 10 pints shits on you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's no fucking joke.
Do you know what could have happened is maybe clever creatures could fly, and these are the only ones, only that level of intellect can survive flight.
Oh, so all the other creatures that
They just, because they just took the piss too much, or they flew too close to the sun, but
Icarus.
they took the piss out of it.
Yeah.
And eventually like, I'll kill that motherfucker. And eventually like the gene died out.
Right.
And that level of intellect of the birds is the only one that can survive flight.
Only the dumb, only the absolute idiots survive. That actually seems true because we do seem to be getting dumber, I think, as human beings. But then, yeah, I was going to go into Hitler killing the intelligentsia and places, but I won't. Now, the commerce, yeah. Well, so I did commerce, and this is my 1968 moment. So I did commerce for 3 years.
Did you finish the degree?
I did. I finished it. Yeah. I'm perseverant. Even though I knew I didn't really want to do anything to do with it. I didn't like it. I had no interest in the wide world. I'd fall asleep every I'm so violently uninterested. But then you just cram before the exams and get through it. And I was just blackout drunk all the time. I had moved up to Dublin with the same friends I'd had in Kilkenny. So again, I felt stifled by being around these people.
You couldn't reinvent yourself.
No, I couldn't go and, do these things I wanted to do. Not that they would have given a solid fuck if I did. My friends from home have all been, since I've been doing comedy, have been unbelievably supportive and they've been nothing but amazing. Attend all the gigs, they love it. It's class. But in my mind,
Yeah.
it would put everything in jeopardy. So anyway, I went there. I was just, like I said, drinking like Brendan Behan for, 3 years, blackout drunk, depressed, purposeless. Yeah? Is that?
No purpose. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
purposeless.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, they'll get it. These are smart people. But and so then I finished but I think I was just at that point a very bad self-confidence at this point, and that probably had to do with something to do with the drinking as well,
I think they may have been related.
They might have been related. Famously, they seem to be bedfellows. The lack of self-worth and borderline alcoholism. But
Sorry, it's a tangent. I don't know if you want to hear this. My brother, when we were 16, we went to my cousin's my cousin's was 18th. And
you're right, I didn't want to hear it. Shite.
And my brother was drinking pints of Guinness, and there was also like finger food there.
Yeah.
And he drank like maybe 6 or 8 pints, but he was 16.
Yes.
My parents are not big drinkers. On the way home, my parents had to pull over like 4 or 5 times for my brother to vomit. And this was just, nothing was even said in the car, but the tension.
Yes.
Because like, this is not a behavior we approve of, even though they explicitly, like it just, and I remember the next morning, because I was like downstairs, as with my mum and dad, my brother, I could hear him get up, and I was like, what's gonna be what's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
And he came downstairs and he was like, must have been those finger sausages I ate. It's just like, I had to applaud the effort. Not the 6 pints of Guinness.
He had obviously had a talk with himself in the mirror and just like, it was the finger sausages, stick on point, do not deviate.
That's what did come up. You know what I mean?
That's what happened. Yeah. Very a politician's way of dealing with it. It was the finger sausages, and you have no plausible deniability of that fact.
No, sorry, but
yeah. So anyway, I finished up the degree, and then at that point I was like, right, what am I going to do? So I ended up working in a place called taxback.com for a year, just kind of cold calling people on the phones. Truly soul-sucking kind of endeavour. So I did that, but I had decided at that point I was going to go back to DCU and do a master's in film. I had decided.
No fucking way.
Yeah, so I just, whatever came over me, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do something I want to do. Now, I had no experience in film other than liking movies. Like, I love movies. That was it. Like, I had no other, I'd never been involved in a young filmmaker thing. I'd never written anything. I'd never done anything. But then I found in that year, so I was in doing these like cold calls or whatever, but for half the day I'd be just dossing. I'd be reading Roger Ebert movie reviews, and then I just found myself like writing sketches and stuff. I'd just be writing comedy stuff. And then like I ended up like making a little film with my friends. Again, like I said, I decided to make this sketch thing, and all my friends like got involved that I asked to do it. And I made this fucking weird little half movie, half sketch that was like, it was like half an hour long, but it was terrible. I mean, like, I couldn't even express to you how dog shit this was. but it was just getting everyone together and making it was like fun, and I was the little director of this, empire of shite. But
you created something.
But I created something, and I was, and I knew, like in my mind, I was like, I knew I had an ability to come up with stuff, because I was always thinking of stuff and little funny things and voices and things that there was no real context for within your friend group, because you just be looking like you're showing off. But I was always thinking these things, but there was nowhere for these ideas to go. There was no avenue. So now I was kind of getting myself into like writing stuff down and different things.
Like that film you made almost built up your confidence in your own creative, like.
Yeah, it was like, right, I can come up with something, and I'm able to, and I executed the thing. Now it was like ridiculous and over bloated, and there was the audio, it's just fucking.
Do you still have it?
Dog shit, it could be somewhere now. I'd have to go looking for it.
What was it called?
Fly Bros Promos. It was like it's strange. I'm not even certain of the storyline of it, but it was some kind of strange mockumentary thing where one of my friends, Rory, was playing this kind of weird documentary maker. It was just bizarre and, but it was good crack to make. But anyway, so I'd made that, and then the following year when I went to DCU, that was like probably the most formative year I had in terms of going towards comedy, because I got away from everyone. I was just on my own. I was living with these two teachers, Siobhan and Cara, who were lovely in Drumcondra, but essentially I was away from everyone, so I could just do whatever I wanted to do. I started listening to the WTF podcast with Mark Maron.
Yeah.
Was listening to that religiously and loved it. I couldn't believe the way he was talking about like anxiety and depression and the people he had on in the conversations. This is my introduction to podcasts in general. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like, I used to like kind of Howard Stern interviews before that a bit as well, because they were very kind of like uncensored and stuff. But so I was like, this is fucking crazy. And then I was in doing the film masters, which I was enjoying, but I joined the radio there in DCU. I had my own radio show with these like couple of freshers. It was me and them.
What was the name of the show?
It was called The Cure, which is I didn't really approve of, but they wanted to do it, whatever. But so we were in doing the radio show, then I joined like the kind of comedy society and did some like sketches and stuff with them. Then I started taking improv classes in town.
Wait, who'd you do the improv with?
Neil.
Neil Curran. Neil Curran.
That's right, Neil Curran. So I started doing improv classes with Neil Curran, and they were going well. I was able to do it, and I was able to do characters and be funny, and I met other lads there who I haven't seen in years now, but that were also funny. And
this is all in this 1 year.
This is all in this 1 year, and so this is all going on. And then I met Stephen Bradley at something, or I saw him do improv in some group, and he was brilliant. And then I was just there after watching the show with other people from Neil's class, and I got talking to Stephen Bradley, and then it came up about stand-up, and he was saying he does some stand-up and stuff, and I was like, how would I do stand-up? Like, how would I get into that? And
this is so wild.
Right, and then he says to me, he was like, just text this fella, Tony Ferns. He does...
at the Haypenny.
He does like Battle of the Axe, this like my thing. Just text him and he'll get back to you with like a date to do it. And I was like, all right, grand, yeah. So I got the number, text him, and he said, right, you're on the 7th of June or something. This would have been 2014 or something like that. And I was like, right, grand, yeah. And so that was it. I had the date and the thing, and now all I had to do was come up with the set. It was 7 minutes. And I went then after that to watch comedy like in the International and like going around and seeing it. And I remember seeing Colm Turrell in the International. I thought he was unbelievable. I was like, God, this lad's fucking class. And then I saw him again in the Halfpenny Bridge Inn. He did the same material. I was like, hey, what the hell? This is how much I didn't know about comedy or the mechanisms of it. I saw him do it twice in a row.
You felt like almost cheated.
And I was nearly going to stand up and be like, I've seen this before, lads, so I wouldn't be thinking this is his first time saying, So I genuinely, I didn't understand that you created a set or did anything like that. But going to those open mics then and watching the Battle of the Axe myself, it gave me confidence, because I was like, well, I'm surely better than these guys. You know what I mean? Seeing shit comedy is very important to give you confidence to do it. And so then I was writing my little set, and geez, I thought in my head, this is brilliant. This is really, really good. And I went and did it. I had 6 pints before I went on. I was with my friend Ed Murphy, who is a doctor now, and studying to be then. Went, did it, probably got about 3 laughs in the 7 minutes, which I thought was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I thought
I actually think that's not too... Like, this is your first set, right?
This is my first set. And I did it the whole way through. I had it really well rehearsed, and I did it, and I was like slagging off hipsters at that time, which are not really even, it's not even a word that's used anymore, really. And that was it. It was like slagging off hipsters. And it was this whole surreal stories and kind of odd thing. But I came off, and I was delighted. I was like, that went well. I was walking away from the gig that night with Ed. We were walking back towards Drumcondra. And I remember saying to him, I was like, I'll do this forever now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to do this forever. And that was it. The decision was made right there, and I never, ever, ever looked back once. It was like, that was the decision. And that time next year, I was in Chicago. I was in Chicago doing it there.
You hungry? Sorry.
No, I'm all right now. But we will get food, because coffee kind of kills it.
So wait, you went. Did you get a J1 to Chicago, or what?
I got a graduate visa. So
for a year, is it?
Yeah, and then I extended. I got 2 holiday extensions for 6 months, so I stayed there 2 years, which is the max.
So like that was like June of 2014.
June of 2014, I did my first gig.
And you were gigging then for all the next year, but by June of 2015, you were in Chicago.
By April, or maybe even the end of March of 2015, I was in Chicago.
Sorry, I guess my question is, were you like almost like, okay, I want to do this. Okay, how do I get better? Okay, yeah. Chicago's the home of comedy and improv comedy.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I guess I got to go to Chicago somehow.
That's right.
And then you're like, how do I make that happen?
That's right.
And within 8 months, you had a visa.
I was in there. I was in Chicago. I was in Chicago within.
And what?
8
you doing
months.
The improv over there?
I did improv and I did stand up. But so because it was really hard at that time in 2014 to get gigs, especially when you're brand new. So I maybe did I did it as much as I could, but I maybe did 12 or gigs before I went to Chicago, or maybe more than that. But I was doing my very best, but I was working every day at it. I was writing every single day. Even when there would be a month in between gigs, I was writing. And so my first...
Do you still write every single day?
No, not every single day, but I tried to do it a
When
fair
you say
bit.
you write every day, do you sit down for an hour to write, or do you just even if it's 10 minutes, or do you no, I have set time, or I don't even need a set time, I just write every day?
So if I was having my way, it's just you get busy with other stuff, I would try to write every day. But what I will do is I will go these days, I will go to a coffee shop with no phone and nothing except pen and paper, and then I just have to be in that coffee shop for 2 hours.
And you're you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, that's right. But you just and at some point you have to entertain yourself, so you'll start writing. So that's what I do, and I find that
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
No fucking way.
2 hours, and I'll end up doing an hour and a half. That's what'll happen, and then that'll be it. But
that's an interesting and pen and paper, not
no pen and paper,
not
yeah.
laptop.
No, but then sometimes I'll transfer things onto the laptop.
How do you keep track of as your bits and sets are growing? Is it?
Sure, I don't. That's it. I just have a million fucking stupid notebooks. I can barely read my own writing. It's it's all just fucking mad cat arrows to things. What even is that? You know what I mean?
It's like what's the Russell Crowe film, The Beautiful Mind?
Beautiful Mind. It's just
and you're like, it makes no sense.
No. It's just it's a little, kind of, it's almost like Minority Report, and he's fucking,
yeah.
But so, so that's it. But back then I was writing every day, and I did a completely different set every set. A completely different set, because I didn't talk to anyone, so I didn't know. So I thought after maybe 10 gigs, I believed I had an hour of material, and I contacted someone to film a special because I felt I need to get rid of this now material. It's burning a hole in my pocket. I've this hour of material, and I just need to get it filmed. I have the message still. I look it up. This guy Aiden, some fella in DCU some Italian communication student.
Did you have a venue booked and everything? Did you film this?
No, I didn't film it because it became more and more apparent how ridiculous this whole thing was. I believed, I was just, right, I said, we'll do it in the student bar in DCU, we'll just film it, we'll get it done. I just thought yeah, people will come to the thing. No one knows where I am. It was insane. Also, I thought I had an hour. And anyone, I remember a Chicago comic told me a few years later, he's like, if someone says to you, that is even a couple of years in, they have an hour of material, it means they don't have 1 minute, because they have no idea of how to quantify comedic time. And that was it. I didn't have 1 minute really. I just, I did all these weird long 7-minute sets that I thought I had it. But I always remind myself of that when you talk to people and they don't kind of understand the mechanisms of comedy, and you're kind of like, oh, and you think, because we're so entrenched in it, and it's so my reality for so long, that I forget that no one else gives a solitary fuck. So, but then I remind myself, you didn't know. You hadn't a clue. You were trying to record a special after 6 months. You idiot. Do you know what I mean?
Did you feel like you were, fuck yeah. But there's on some level I applaud that, because I feel like there's this other side of the coin, which is like, you could wait forever. Because comedians who start doing it, they're like, yeah, but do I really have something that's fucking...
Yeah.
And then you could be like, so on some level I'd be like, I think that's a better, I prefer your method than the waiting too long method. Like, even though you, even of that sort of like within 6 months, like, fuck it, let's, the fucking get up and go that shows of even yourself back then, of like,
right.
Fuck, I think it's a good thing. I'm like...
Yeah, I mean, it was maniacal at that point. It was maniacal. But then, like I said, I was going to gigs, but I wasn't talking to anyone about things. No one was taking me under their wing and telling me how things were done. I'd never taken a class. I never, and in my head, didn't believe in that. I was like, no, sure, who's going to tell me? I know what's good, And at that point, like, I'd been watching a lot of Stuart Lee. I read his book. I was, and Louis C.K. I mean, he was a big. So when I tell you I was like into movies when I was younger, I was, and probably Louis C.K. And I'd watched Tommy Tiernan and stuff and thought he was really funny and everything. But Louis C.K. was probably my big introduction to stand-up, like to where I was like, oh, this can be class.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. And the rawness, and that's everything I wanted and everything I wanted to do. And always thought in life, like I always hated like politeness, and I hated like, and like I had so much of my family were so conservative and would never mention sex. Everything needs to be proper and very, and you don't use that language. And I just always thought that was bullshit. From the time I remember as a child, I was just like, oh, fuck up, will you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why are we pretending? It all seemed like pretense. We all shit. We come. We whack. Why are we? Why this whole theatrics about? But it's rooted in Catholicism and self-denial.
Do you feel that the rawness of it? Do you feel like that in everyday life, or just on stage, or both?
I think in life in general. Now, saying that, I don't believe in like, and I heard Stephen Fry put it very well. It's like, if I'm around my mother, I'm going to do my best not to curse or use language and stuff that would make her uncomfortable, or like that she would find rude. Because that's just being considerate.
Yeah.
And polite, and so, I'm not someone who's just like, yeah, I'm going to say what I want. If you don't like it, then whatever. No, if I'm around people who I feel like certain language and certain ways of being would like be, offensive to them or uncomfortable to them, then I'll do my best to be considerate of that. But I personally like the best being with people, talking with people where you can be completely open and just say what you want and have none of this. Not be shackled by any sort of social, like whatever, bells and whistles where you have to.
I think that's like the greatest thing of stage, of like, or stand up for me, is like, this is, you can talk about anything, as long as you make it funny, you can talk about anything. It's like, it's a very freeing.
Absolutely very freeing.
Like, yeah.
And my thing is like, for my show or whatever, it's like, yes, this will be dirty and inappropriate and wild and all these things, and it's for people who like that. And if you don't like that, brilliant, do not come or don't. Do you know what I mean? And I have no problem with that. I have no interest in kind of appealing to everyone. I have no interest in appealing. I don't have any interest in having like the whole family can come and see him. No, I don't want your whole family to come and see me. Do you know what I mean? I don't, unless you're a really cool family, brother. But you know what I mean? That's never been what I would be after in doing. Maybe when I'm older, I will change on that, and I would like something that, fucking kids or whoever could come. But that's not what I liked.
Yeah.
That's not what I was attracted to in comedy.
Yeah.
What I was attracted to is the wildness, is to say the things you're not supposed to say, the thoughts we have, whether they be like about or just general shittiness as people, like the jealousy, the greed, the insecurity, the narcissism,
I remember I totally agree. I remember growing up, because I watched Tommy Tiernan, I watched these comedians who I loved, and I remember, I think what you were saying, Louis was the first time I saw someone talk about and I was like, wait, that's when I was like, oh, stand up, as you were saying, it could be this phenomenal. I remember watching him talk and being like, you can talk about this and you can make this funny and relatable. I was like, this is what is, and then the fact that each special was as good as the previous. Because every other comedian I'd watched had one great special and other decent specials. And Louis was the first time I was like,
right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Crazy.
So no, I totally.
He's the greatest. I believe he's the greatest ever. And I think, I'd find it hard to put anyone, to argue for anyone against him. Maybe Richard Pryor. To me, the greatest stand-up hour ever is Richard Pryor live in concert, which is on Netflix if you want to watch it. Some people might find it dated or anything. I wouldn't personally, but it's a man using everything, the writing, the movement, the heart, the vulnerability, the storytelling, the jokes, voices, faces, absolutely the point of view, everything, the subject matter, everything, just to make a fucking incredibly funny, but also incredibly just compelling piece of art and performance ever. That's fucking sick.
That's your favorite comedy hour?
It's the best comedy hour ever. My favorite one, I don't know, Norm Macdonald's Comedy Central special, his first one. It's not the one on Netflix, but you can get it on Spotify and stuff. I think it's just me doing stand-up is the name of it, but it's just wall to wall incredible. I mean, Norm Macdonald to me is probably the funniest man to ever live. I think Louis is the best stand-up ever because it's the body of work, but Norm Macdonald is like my father. I think he's my father. When he died, I was genuinely really, really saddened. And I was very saddened when Roger Ebert's film Craic died as well. But Norm Macdonald, it just speaks to my soul in every way.
Okay.
I can't even watch him much anymore because I'm too influenced, and I'll just become. I'm so.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
do you write bits sometime? You're like, shit, this is Norm.
This is very Normish. I have bits in my show right now that are quite Normish, and people who are big Norm fans will see the Norm in me, and they will see and I don't really even care that much. I'm like, yeah, I do love him. I am influenced by him, but it's enough of myself that I don't mind. But there is little. If you are a big Norm Macdonald fan, you will see it. Yeah,
you see the little the thread of it woven into the fabric.
Little inflections, the use of language, the kind of the way of telling stories and delivering some lines and stuff. Yeah, I would hope it's not in any way ripping off, and it's more just having little notes that are almost paying homage. But everyone's influenced by fucking someone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah. They're my guys. But so.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, you were going to go. You were going to say something very important.
Well, very important.
Yes.
Did you go to Chicago with John Spillane? Did you go together?
No.
Was he? Because I have in my head he was in Chicago.
He was in Chicago. So, I first met John Spillane. Actually, I'd heard of John from my friend Jack McCarran, who went to university in Limerick, and he had went to some party or show that was an Anchorman show. Like it was a show.
Immediately I'm like,
Yeah, and we loved Anchorman, me and Jack, we used to quote it all the time. We used to do fucking Anchorman quizzes with this other guy, Paul Barrett, in school. It was like, we loved it. And John Splann was playing Ron Burgundy, this thing, and he was like, oh, you have to see this guy. John Splann, this before I did stand-up, and he's like, he's so funny, he was doing this thing. And I was like, right, I always made a note of that. I was like, right, this guy. And then I ended up doing this like competition in Bray at the Hardy Har, something in my first few months that I signed up to or whatever, and John Splann was on it. And I met him on that. And he was really good. He was a lot better than me. You know, and I remember him coming off. I just kind of half chatting with him or something. And I was like, right, cool. In my head, he was like almost like a celebrity, you know. And then I went to Chicago. And I'd moved out there and I was there for the year. And I was walking between open mics one day, just in between, and just John Splann was walking across from me, and he was already with a kind of a group of friends he had made on the scene there, and I just was like, oh right, and we kind of just chatted for a second, but anyway, then he was like almost like in my mind, a big star on that circuit at that time in Chicago, and he was doing great, and he was like, had made these friends, and he was like flying it and stuff, and so we actually didn't really become, he had his own kind of group there, and so we didn't really become like close friends or anything then, but then I stayed there for the whole year, and he went home after the summer, and then he came back the following year, but now I'd been there the whole year, so I'd kind of established myself by that time. So then he came back, and it was kind of different and stuff. And then we ended up becoming very friendly, and then he moved in with me and another comic, Chris Higgins, and we were all living in this house, which was just the best fucking time ever. And we started making like sketches together, and we became then super close friends. And then we both moved back to Ireland. And then when I moved up to Dublin, we both started working at the same tour company. We started a comedy club together. We lived together in Rathmines. We would travel to Barcelona together. We were just inseparable for a few years, like really, really just thick as thieves. Then I obviously moved away, but yeah, John's the greatest.
Because you came back to Ireland for a few years, and then you moved to Barcelona during COVID, is it? Was it Barcelona, then Berlin, then London? Is that your sort of, or you getting peckish now?
Yeah. Let's get food.
Yeah, let's get food.
And then we'll try. We shall cover that.
Exactly. Yeah. So at least each thing is in a.
Yes. How long is this thing going to be, by the way?
Hopefully, like, think of each section that we're in. Hopefully, will be like a 3 or 4 minute segment.
All right.
So if we catch,
you're doing well to edit.
So we're kind of figuring out what the fuck it's going to be.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but we find like, yeah. So that's the kind of scene behind the. But yeah, it should be a bit of fun though.
Now, where are we getting food? So how are things with you anyway? How's life?
Good. And you can ask me that on camera too. Like,
yeah.
No, but life is good. So like, life is good. I'm in love.
Yeah.
With a girl.
An Austrian woman.
No, she's Hungarian.
Whatever.
But so which is new.
She's one of Orban's stooges.
Exactly. I like to say to her, like, anything Eastern European related, I'm like, sure, that's just your country.
Yeah.
But no, life is good. So going back to the fringe with the work in I guess for me, like, part of the reason why even I find this show interesting is like I'm building my first hour, 40 maybe.
Yeah.
With the idea being, like, on my bucket list, just for me as a human being, I want to create a stand-up hour.
Yes.
And I want it to be something that I am proud of.
Yes.
Like, because there's a few times. What's weird is if I just wanted to create a show, I feel like I could create a show tomorrow, but I'm like, no, I want to create something.
Yeah.
That Colman, I'm like, I think that's shit hot.
Yeah.
And.
Well, that's the.
And like
That's the dream.
Like so.
Yeah.
Like that's why, like, even what you do, like what you do is, I'm like, fucking hell, wow, like that's, it's impressive. It's also like inspiring, especially because I think, oh, we're down here. It's inspiring because I suppose the fact that you came from the Dublin scene,
Yeah.
is so inspiring to me because it's like you were in the mud with us and you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
As opposed to someone doing it in another scene. Because when it's in another scene,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I got no context for it.
Yeah.
So that's why, like,
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And you know what's nice is I feel that I feel it from the Dublin scene a bit that you
Yeah.
know people are happy for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like people are happy to have seen me
because
you know,
they see themselves
do
in
well.
you. Like,
right
little-
and
like,
yeah, and it's from the same place they're in. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, but and also that I kind of I made the move to London, which surprisingly few amount of Irish comedians do.
there's. Are we catching all this as well, Andrew?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Yep.
So they, yeah, because I suppose for me, moving to London or even moving to Barcelona or Berlin are things that I would on a personal level consider, and that's why I want to tell. I'll ask you about it in a second because it's something I find so, yeah, fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to take me 5 minutes to set these cameras up.
No bother.